What's up, guys? Let's talk about you getting better with your pull-ups. And when I'm talking about pull-ups, I'm talking about strict pull-ups. So no kipping pull-ups, we're talking about just straight up strict. So the first thing that you need to be able to do is just go from a dead hang and try to maintain this dead hang position for 10 seconds. So I'm on the bar, gripping the barbell, working on grip strength, and just letting my shoulders be active and letting my arms stay nice and long, and just working on hanging in this position. So that's number one. Number two is working on another type of isometric hold to where I get into this flexed hang position. So I'm up here in this position, and I want to try to maintain this flex hang position for minimum 10 seconds, but just like with the dead hang, extended arms, let's take that on up and work on that grip strength and get your body used to being on the bar. So those are the first two. So we went over first two criteria that you need to be able to do from a pull-up bar. You need to be able to dead hang for a certain amount of time to work on that grip strength. Also, it's just healthy for your shoulders. And then we want to be able to get into this flex hang position where we're maintaining that hold for a certain amount of time. For you guys who have a hard time doing a strict pull-up, this next exercise is where you need to be after you show yourself that you can do the first two. You need to be able to do these eccentric pull-ups, negative pull-ups, whatever you want to call them, but what you're doing is you're controlling yourself down after you've jumped and gotten yourself over the pull-up bar. You are slowly allowing yourself to come back to the start. So you're building muscle in this eccentric part of the lift, which we're strong in this eccentric aspect of a lift. So what that's going to look like is I'm jumping up, I'm getting myself above this bar, and then I'm slowly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to try to take this 5-second descend back down, controlling myself with these muscles in my back. We're really trying to key in on these lats, rhomboids, just these big moving muscles in your back. So if you can't do strict pull-ups, default to that, where you have like a stool or you're jumping from the ground to get yourself over that bar, and then you're slowly breaking, descending, capitalizing on that eccentric aspect of that movement. And if you're thinking, I need to be able to do 5 pull-ups, well, do about 5 of those. Work yourself up. This is about you getting better. So you're working on your eccentric pull-ups. And that's what's going to get you to being able to do 1 strict pull-up, 2 strict pull-ups, 3, eventually up to 10. You need to have a goal in mind. Now, in addition to the other things that we've talked about, especially the eccentric pull-ups, can you do pull-ups with a band? And the answer to that is yes. You can do pull-ups with band assistance, but you want to try to get away from that as soon as you possibly can. But it is great to be able to use a band as accommodating resistance to help you get yourself over that pull-up bar from a psychological standpoint, because then you know what it feels like to be able to do that, and then you slowly do away with that band so you don't have to depend upon it. All right? All right, another thing that you can do to improve upon your pull-ups is going to be to work yourself a little bit more of a horizontal pull instead of the vertical pull of the pull-up. So you can do this TRX row, which you're going to get yourself into this position. Of course, you have to have a TRX or some sort of strap device to be able to get into this position, but I'm going to keep myself in this straight line position, and I'm just going to pull myself up. So that's an inverted row, working more in the horizontal plane, but still that's going to get me some strength back there in the back muscles. That's going to help me to be able to do that pull-up. Another thing you can do is you can get yourself on some sort of a bench press or a squat rack, You can get yourself into this position and do this barbell row. It's kind of the same thing. My feet are sliding, so I'm going to get myself in this position, squeezing the barbell, squeezing my shoulder blades, right back down, and right back down. So those are some things that you can do to try to develop that back strength to be able to get yourself able to do 1, 2, and eventually 10 strict pull-ups or more. All right, guys, so work on the pull-ups, get you a band, something like this if you need to. I'm telling you, those eccentric pull-ups are gonna drastically improve your pull-ups. So concentrate on those. If you need to get a band, you loop that thing around there, get your foot through it. It's gonna add a little bit of assistance to help you get up there. Back on the topic of kipping pull-ups, this is my opinion, take it for what it's worth. Kipping pull-ups are a no-no if you cannot do a strict pull-up. To me, it's a recipe for jacking up your shoulder, whether it's labrum, rotator cuff muscles, but you need to be able to do a strict pull-up before you get into kipping pull-ups, which really, kipping pull-ups, the only reason that you should be doing those anyways is if you're doing a large volume of pull-ups, think like CrossFit workouts, whatever that might be. And then even if that's the case, don't even do. If I'm doing Murph or something like that, I'm trying to do strict. As long as I can do strict, that's what I'm going for. So take that for what it's worth. Continue to get better. Work on your pull-ups. Should you be able to do 1 pull-up? Yes, I think so. If you can't, work towards it because I know you can do it. Take these tips and like I said, just work on it, get better. Any questions, let me know.